our next episode, we have Joel Koppel. I just met this gentleman. He reached out to me on the DMs literally a couple of days ago. And look where we're at. We got to move at this speed with social media and taking action and meeting amazing people because, you know, if I just sit there and just sat on the DM and just look at his message and don't take action, we're not going to go anywhere. And I don't get to meet amazing people like this. So now I got to take action. I get to meet amazing people like this every day. Literally, my life is changing. New content every day. Also, you know, business-wise, we're booming. So if you want to take your business to the next level, you have to outreach and have to network with new people that will take your business to the next level, that will introduce you to new network, that will introduce you to new opportunities. Take that risk. Don't be scared. Because if you are, you ain't going nowhere. All right, so Drew, I wanted you to introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what your mission is.
Yeah, hi, my name's Joel Koppel. I'm 47 years old. I'm from San Francisco, California, and just a couple of months ago, I started my own online mindset and personal development coaching business. It's incredible to even be up here today. I'm already feeling such a huge sense of community. It wasn't even a week ago. I had never even met or spoken to you. I reached out on accident, thinking you were someone else online, and then look at where we're at now. I mean, just coming up here today is kind of very representative of like a lot of things in life. We came up from the bottom of the bay through all the fog. It was literally raining and freezing cold and gray, and you couldn't see on the way up here. And like most people might have literally like gotten a little afraid or like turned around and went home, but we kept going and we kept plowing through the turns and the twisties, and we came up to this golden goodness. And it's just like, wow, I can't even believe this is happening right now. So super thankful and grateful to even get the invite, and just happy to be here.
Yeah. Man, so can you expand a little bit on your journey? What got you into fitness and mindset coaching?
It's an interesting story. When I was younger, I played a lot of sports. I competed high levels and was a world champion sponsored athlete. And all through high school, never got into drinking or drugs, was always the guy watching my friends get a little tipsy while I was, practicing for my next tournament or competition. And then it wasn't until getting into college where I was exposed to a little more a lifestyle, I was exposed to different types of lifestyles and realized, okay, there's some people having some fun with this, the drinking and the drugs and stuff. And so I'll admit I succumbed to the pressures, and, I took part in a lot of that and enjoyed it for a number of years. But then as the years and the decades went on, my body was kind of looking at me and telling me like, hey, man, I don't know if this is the most sustainable, way to go about things. But, bodies are incredible things, and we recover from a lot of adversity, but sometimes it's too much adversity. And I just got to a point where I was looking at myself saying like, man, I'm either drinking, drunk, or hungover like almost all the time. And then, over the course of the years, like waking up those mornings, off of horrible or little sleep, just waking up feeling anxious and panicked and like regretful and embarrassed about what I didn't remember I did last night, and just feeling like shame and just wishing I, could do it a different way. But then, of course, what happens is the thing that'll make you feel better is just, having a couple more pops. So, that just, continues the cycle. And then it just got to a point where the mental illness side of those hangovers got too much. And I looked to myself, I was like, this isn't even fun anymore. What am I doing? And you take a step back and you look at like, this is stuff I'm doing to myself. So like, it's totally in your control. And I just realized that this wasn't going to be, a way that was going to last the rest of my life. And then about 9 years ago, one of my best friends died from drugs and alcohol. And it was a huge smack in the face. And it just made me take a look at what I was doing. And I just started realizing how fragile life can be. And, we only got one turn on this planet. We got one life. Yeah. And some people, it gets cut short. And I just didn't want that to happen to me.
Wow. I love that, man. You are solid. You got it locked down, brother.
years and years of experience. Again, like I'm 47 years old. Like I'm going to be 50 pretty soon, but with the lifestyle I've adopted, I'm just like literally improving every single day. Every day is a better me. And I love to see that. That motivates me to keep going. It wasn't long ago where I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and she's like, man, you look really good with your shirt off. And I told her, like, I've never felt good taking my shirt off. And she said, what are you talking about? You used to take your shirt off all the time. I was like, yeah, because I was loaded and I just didn't care. Mm-hmm. Now I'm doing it because I'm proud. Now I'm doing it because I know I worked out all week and I rested well and I'm feeling good about myself and I want to like absorb this sunshine. And it's a way for me to be accountable to myself. As the days go on, I need to make sure I keep wanting to take my shirt off every day because that means I'm putting in the work that's going to get me the results I'm proud of.
Wow. Yeah, man, most people, it's actually more rare to have a six-pack than to be a millionaire.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's actually more rare to have a six-pack than actually to be a millionaire. So, yeah. So when you started your fitness and business coaching, or is it just fitness mindset?
It's all the above, yeah.
Okay, so fitness, business mindset coaching. So when you start your fitness, business mindset coaching, like what got you into the industry?
So I only started this little actual business journey a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. I'd listened to a lot of good entrepreneurs and leaders that were mentoring me. And, if I kept hearing the same thing, it's like, stop waiting.
Yeah.
Take the chance on yourself. Don't delay. And like the people who take chances are the ones who sometimes fall on the good breaks. And I mean, like I said, even a week ago, I wouldn't have seen myself up here doing this. And look at me now. This is just absolutely breathtakingly amazing. And we're up here doing this and I'm already like making friends. I've suffered a lot through the last couple years of feeling really isolated because I'm surrounded by a lot of people who don't do the same things I do. I get up really early. I don't drink anymore. I can't even eat gluten. Like there's a lot of things that cancel me out of a lot of people's party plans. And so what it's left me feeling was like, I'm not lonely, but I sometimes feel really isolated because I'm not surrounded by a lot of people that have similar lifestyles that I do.
They're not on the right path you're on.
Yeah, and that's why it's so good to meet and hang out with people like you is because I feel like we're on this same path. We're in this together. We all have a story that's worth telling, and you have to have that something to overcome to get you to the good stuff.
Man, that's crazy. So for someone else that's starting out in their fitness journey, I started out my fitness journey because I went through a breakup and I didn't have anyone to turn to, besides the gym. For you, what advice would you give to someone that's starting out at the gym and they're like worried about what they look like form-wise, intimidated to go to the gym, like,
I want to tell people that I think a lot of people take themselves for granted. And again, this is all stuff I've even been telling myself. I was taking myself for granted, my body for granted. I think a lot of people go through imposter syndrome where they haven't succeeded yet or they've never succeeded. They've never had a six-pack. They don't know what it feels like to feel that good. And so they just don't think they're good enough to actually do it. But in the end, they actually are, and they're the only person that can make sure that they follow through with those passions that end up to being dreams getting accomplished and making money, getting some clients, and having some success. And people sometimes are just like programmed and used to a hard, difficult like life that they're not enjoying, and so they're comfortable doing that. And again, hey, it hasn't been all rainbows and unicorns for me either. I thought I had the life. I was, staying up all night, partying. I was in a band, a lot of drinking, a lot of late night dinners, a lot of typical up all night, sleep all day. And eventually I just knew oh man, this isn't very sustainable. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. And, while I was still in that falsely, centered lifestyle, life really started coming down on me. I went through a horrible breakup. Both of my dogs died, and then my mom unexpectedly passed away, all within 3 months of each other. So I went from thinking I was on top of the world, having it all figured out, dinners, parties, drinks, social life, all the above, to absolute reality crashing on me and taking me to a place I never even thought existed. I mean, no joke. It was me literally up all night, sleepless, bawling, crying, screaming into pillows, saying, I never could have imagined it would ever be this bad, ever. And so I just started following those leaders that I, relied on. I just kept listening to them. I kept digging down and deep, and I said, I'm better than all this. When you're down at such a low level, the only way to go is up. So I said, I'm going to have to do this myself. I had 2 years of COVID to really lock down on myself, but what I tell people is I want you to take yourself and imagine the best version of you. Take yourself and imagine the best version of you that like makes all the right decisions, doesn't do all the bad stuff, stays on his purpose, stays on his plan. And like a lot of people, okay, I can see that person. And I say, okay, well, that's you. That's the real you. You don't have to pretend that person can exist. Like that is you. And you're actually kind of dumbing yourself down by using the vices and not treating yourself properly. That's going to prevent you from being that optimal you that you can be. You just don't know you can do it.
Wow. I just want to give a shout out to Joel. Like, I'm getting so much more value out of like interviewing amazing people every time like this. Just not even just for the audience, but like just for me too. Like, I'm learning a lot of life experience through all the members here today. And it's so amazing because like what you're saying solves a problem for me. Boom. What Mike's saying solves a problem for me. What V's saying solves another problem for me. And it's such an amazing like experience. Like I just started this thing like 2 weeks ago, or not like, how do you say? It's not really like official podcasting. I was like, hey, we're just gonna run it. And I know these people have amazing story, and they're gonna fucking deliver. And man, you're fucking. I love it.
Well, this is the definition of we're just doing it.
Yeah.
We're not overthinking it. We're not planning too much. We're not self-sabotaging and thinking of reasons to not do this or making excuses. Like you said, hey, Mount Tam, 7 a.m. It's like, I'll be there. Done.
What a G. I could tell you're going to fly really fast.
Let's go, baby. Got to take off sometime. You got to start everyone starts on the landing strip, man.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Like, I'm getting inspired.
Good.
From you.
Good.
Like, this is definitely crazy.
That's what it's all about.
And I don't know if you do run, but, you're invited to run across America.
Awesome.
It's going to be a Strava map. So you're going to see, like, oh, he's here. Come in, drop in a couple miles.
Hey, that's cool, too.
We'll shoot some content together.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe, you have something you want to mention to me on this podcast. I would love to have you expand on that, just perception-wise.
Yeah, so a lot of people kind of look at what I may be doing and say, oh, I'm just going to go work out or eat well. And I want to tell everyone that you got to make a commitment to yourself and make sure you're making the right decisions throughout the day, every day. It's not just working out. It's not just eating right. It's about what you're doing those other 22 hours of the day to optimize how your body operates, to decrease stress levels, to keep the cortisol down, help getting better sleep, better recovery, so you're not spending as much time in the gym as you need to. I mean, it's all about being efficient and using your time wisely, being able to still spend time with your family and your friends and take your dogs to the park and get out and just do fun social stuff. But I mean, it's just, again, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of us for even doing this morning. Like, we're out here all by ourselves, like, doing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing, no one can take this away from us.
On top of the world, baby.
On top of the world.
Yeah. So, as we come to a close, what are some advice you would give to someone that's starting over today, whether they've been through a big loss recently, bankruptcy, some trauma, or someone that's starting a fresh journey? What are some expertise, advice that you already had throughout your life that you can help this person compress the timeline and get to their goal faster?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the good part about it being old or older is that I've got all those more past experiences to look back on. And I cannot emphasize enough how anybody of any age, no matter what you're trying to do, really needs to find a mentor and or a coach to help guide them throughout the process. Because what you should be doing is focusing on doing the work, not exactly having to figure everything out at first. first, and you should be able to rely on that coach or mentor to guide you, push you, keep you on the right path, stay motivated, and you just focus on the work, because I think you'll get probably like 4 to 5 times the results, whatever you're doing, when you have a mentor or a coach helping you out, because you're going to be able to actually just like progress more and use all your time and energy into progressing while they're doing the programming, helping you fine-tune your macros and get you to the point where you can just keep performing. So cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have a coach or a mentor that will lead you to where you're going.
Wow. What's the next step on your mission? What's the next big move?
The next step is still just following the spider web. Like, again, like I'm meeting you guys, and we're like, as we speak, like branching out as we speak. And so it's good to see that there's a crew up in Northern California that I didn't really know about, and things are kind of starting to pop up here. But I really just would tell people, like, it's funny, some people like think it's a way of weakness to ask for help or like take lessons or like sign up and take advice from a coach or mentor. But I think it's just the opposite. Like, it's going to mean more if you actually commit to yourself and actually maybe take some money out of your account and pay this person to make it more real, make it more serious. Like, this isn't just something you're doing off the top of your head that you can just like stop at any time. You need to make a commitment and actually prove to you your own self-worth by spending money on yourself. Like, throughout my just past couple months, I signed up for a mentorship program, did that for 3 months, and then I bowed out and I said I want to focus my resources on getting some camera equipment for my home. I want to get some better quality content so my message can be communicated a little better. And I think people will listen and understand if you're hitting the right notes and nerves, and I think we're doing that. We had a lot of great stories today, and this is all real stuff that happened to real people, and we're all just here licking our wounds, like coming back from the adversity we had to face. We've done it in our own little bit different ways, but we're just looking inside. We're just doing as much as we can to ourselves. We're respecting ourselves. We're realizing our self-worth, and then it comes in results when you're proud enough to take your shirt off and you're 47 years old. That's what I'm talking about.
Damn, that's crazy. So before we close out, let's share a little bit more about your business and where the audience can find you.
Yeah, so again, my name is Joel Koppel. My Instagram handle is Joel Koppel Fit. Please just reach out, follow me online, send out a message. Let's just start talking. God knows, I've probably been through what you might be going through. You might be able to help me out in something. Let's just start the conversation, see how we can help each other. There's just a lot of different ways people are afraid to experiment with that can give easy, quick results, but then also long-term lasting results. But yeah, let's just start the conversation. I'm here to help. Like, let me tell you more of my stories. Let me give you more examples of things I've had to go through that have gotten me to the place where I'm at today. But I got to tell you, like, I just remember it like it was yesterday, waking up every morning hungover, like anxious, panicked, like embarrassed, shameful. Like, those are not good feelings to have. And those were happening all the time. And now I wake up every day. I'm so proud. I'm accomplished. I'm not anxious. I'm settled in my own skin. There's no price on that. Yeah, millionaire. Like, that's great. I'm more proud of this than I would be of having $1 million. Yeah. I will also like to additionally have $1 million with the 6-pack, but I'd rather have the 6-pack first.
Oh yeah, that's the discipline first. That's harder. That's more rare. Yeah, especially in America though.
Right.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to close out on this podcast. Thank you, Joel, for your amazing support, time, and effort to come out here, drive through the mountains to get up here and shoot a dope podcast with the crew above the clouds.
I got one more thing.
Yeah. Go for it, brother.
One other thing I've really been, focusing on lately, not just the diet and like measuring out the macros, but like what we're eating and the quality of food we're eating. I just recently did a DNA test and found out I'm like horrifically allergic to like seeds and lectins and a lot of nuts. And like, again, I cook all my own food. I make all my own food. Everything's incredibly whole food, healthy, wholesome, grass-fed meats. And it is astonishing at how many people just don't know what they're putting in their bodies. And I hate to say it, all the going out to eat, even at Whole Foods, you go in the Whole Foods, you go to the hot bar, all the food is cooked in horrifically toxic seed oils. Everything in that hot bar at Whole Foods, you should not be touching it. Like, you really need to pay attention to what you're putting in your body, because just like the drugs and alcohol will deaden you and take the life out of you, the more wholesome and healthier foods you're going to eat and put in your body's just going to do all the things it's supposed to do. It's going to recover better. You're going to heal better. Your skin's going to look better. You're going to be glowing and shining. And over the course of time, your stomach's going to know the difference. That means the gut-mind connection is going to make you a lot more healthy up here. I'm telling you, it's so underrated. Not just how much we're eating, how much we're working out, but what are we eating? And you got to prioritize putting good, healthy stuff in your body, because that's going to make your machine run a lot healthier.
Wow. And with that, we're going to close out on this amazing podcast with Joel. Appreciate you guys, and appreciate you for coming, man. What a
thanks
G,
for the invite.
bro.
Thanks for the invite.
Thank you.